Hello, Village. It's Friday. That means it's time for your Friday weekly wrap up, where we will pull one card for the collective and individual cards for those who request to look at the week that was. How did you do? How did it go? And how do you go forward? If you were here with us on Monday and received a card, let me know what it was, and we'll make a comparison between those two cards. I'm Christiana Gaudet. I am your Tarot Fairy Godmother, and I'm so happy to see you here today. Over on YouTube, I want to say a huge thank you to Caroline McLaughlin. Caroline, thank you for being a member for more than 2 years, and thanks for starting us out with a super sticker. I really appreciate it. Let's get right on over to Card Cam. All right, and right at the same time, I saw Caroline McLaughlin and Audrey M. share the collective cards from Monday. On Monday, our 3 collective cards were Temperance, the 7 of Wands, and Strength. And Audrey reminds us that the message was to be strong enough to stand against the odds, to be compassionate and patient. Thank you both so much for that reminder. Let's start with a collective wrap-up card. So we began with Temperance, 7 of Wands, and Strength. And we end with the 3 of Pentacles reversed. And I feel like whether we're talking about something in our own lives or something on a grander scale, there is this invitation to look at this past week and say, okay, what is working? What is not working? And if something is not working, what can we do differently? And I think the power of that temperance and strength in that Monday reading really lets us know we always have options to shift and change to make things go better. All right, let's get going with the individual requests. I am broadcasting in a lot of different places. Wherever you happen to be, if you would like a card to end your week, I'm happy to do it. Over on Instagram, Gypsy Grounded in Reality. That's Adrija. Adrija, so good to see you. Wrapping up your week, Gypsy Grounded in Reality with the Hermit. There may be some loneliness here, but there is also greater wisdom. It is important to recognize that you are really learning and growing. And that has a lot to do with how you want to interact with people and the people with whom you want to interact. So the more that we grow, the fewer people that we may really enjoy being around, but it'll all balance out in the long run. All right. Carolina McMahon, you're the first one here. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members-only emojis. We appreciate you. So Carolina McMahon, this is your wrap-up card. The Magician. The Magician. Carolina, this week, I think you did a good job with communication. And I think you did a really good job sort of figuring out what are your options, what are your opportunities, and what can you do. So well done. Oh, Gypsy Grounded in Reality says, yes, okay, got it. Peggy Lou, we've been missing you. Thanks for being here. Glad you liked Weird Wednesday. That was so fun, wasn't it? And honestly, while I'm here, let me remind all the channel members that we are meeting today, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, to record the Tarot Scopes Live And once we're done with that, I'll take questions on anything at all. So if you're a member of this channel, you can join us this evening. And please do. All right. Caroline McLaughlin, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members only emojis. And thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for reminding us what the collective cards were. I'm going to do you next, but I do want to say a huge thank you to Gen Xers Just Walk It Off. Thank you for the super sticker. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Caroline McLaughlin, here we go. You started with the 7 of Swords. I remember that. But you end with the 2 of Wands. So if we put those two things together, here's what I can say about your week. I feel like you had to have a really clear sense of reality with what is real and what is not, and what you can trust and what you can't. And you had to do that with real intense clarity, but with real hope for the future. And in doing that, I think you've created a way forward for yourself. So well done. Smile Soul 20, good to see you. You are up next. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years, and thanks for being a moderator. We appreciate you. Wrapping you up, Smile Soul 20, with the 3 of Swords. I think it's been a hard week. Maybe that's work stuff, maybe it's personal stuff, maybe it's both. But what you need right now is some real love and care and healing. So let's all send Smile Soul 20 some love, because that's what you need right now. Audrey M., so good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members only emojis, and thanks for reminding us about the collective cards. You had the 8 of Wands reversed. And now the 6 of Swords reversed. So there is something stuck. And it may not be you, and it may not be anything you can do anything about. But look at like what's not moving and what's not happening the way you want it to. And how do you adjust to work with that? Melissa Grosso, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Thanks for using members only emojis. You started with the 6 of Cups and end with the Knight of Cups. So I love this because it's like, remember who you are so you can take that energy and go forward to create the next thing. Like this feels so healing, like you're really doing the work you need to do. Maybe not comfortable, but appropriate and healing. Teresa, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years, and thanks for being a moderator. You had the Queen of Cups on Monday, wrapping you up, Teresa, with the 5 of Swords reversed. And I actually love these two things together because like your life is really changing. And it's changing because you changed it. Did you have help spiritually? Of course. But at the end of the day, it's you doing what you need to do. And with the Queen of Cups, we recognize you're going for your happiness. With the 5 of Swords reversed, we recognize, this is planet Earth. Not everything's going to be perfect, but you know how and when to compromise. And you know how and when to be diplomatic. The only problem you had in the past is you were trying to be diplomatic with people who can't do diplomacy. So will it be perfect? No. But will it be good? Absolutely. Over on Instagram, beautiful Gemini, good to see you. Thanks for being here. You started with the 9 of Batons, which of course is the 9 of Wands, the card of the wounded warrior. That's how you started on Monday. And now the 7 of Swords. So I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure if this is what it is to adjust to a whole new life in a whole new place. If you're feeling like, I moved for this, or if there's something else going on, if making this move allows you to heal from the last chapter of your life. One way or the other, I feel like this was a bit of an uncomfortable week. And I think the key is to figure out, like, where are you healing and how do you support your healing and what is true? At least for now. Keep us posted. Okay, over on Vertical. Priyanka, good to see you. So what we do here on Friday is a card to wrap up the week, and I'm happy to do that for you. This week, and you're not the first person to get this, 5 of Swords reversed. I can say right away, I feel like not everything went the way you wanted it to, but I feel like it went the best way that it could. And I feel like you're doing what you need to do, given the confines of the situation. You're doing what you need to do to move yourself forward. It will take time, but you'll get there. Oh, beautiful Gemini. Yes, it was uncomfortable. I'm working on healing, though, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Okay, Pip, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members-only emojis. So we're going to do you, Pamela, and Pamela's daughter. And your Monday card was the Lovers. And now your your Friday card is the Two of Wands. And there is sort of like in the Venn diagram between those two cards, there is some overlap because there is a lot here, Pip, about you figuring out where you're at, what you're doing, what you want to be doing, and who you want to be doing what with, and how that's all going to move forward. So it's a lot about your own self-determination. And that's good. For Pamela, the Three of Cups. There is so much here, Pamela, about celebration, about enjoying the good things, about building your circle and having good friends around you. Creativity, friendship, community. It's a good thing. Okay, for Pamela's daughter, the Six of Swords reversed. There is definitely something going on here where you're not moving forward the way you want. I don't know what the solution is based on this, whether you need to be patient or not patient, what you need to do, but I can tell you that while you feel certain feelings about it and you want to acknowledge your feelings, it's also really clear to me that you don't want to make decisions based on feelings, make decisions based on facts. That's the key. All right. Christina R., good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for requesting for yourself, your mom, and your sister. Okay, so here we go. Monday was the Page of Coins for you. And now, which is the Page of Pentacles. And now the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like this week, you're doing this week, next week, every week, you're doing what you need to do to get to where you're going, wherever the heck that is. So I know it's frustrating, but you're doing all the right things. For Karen, the King of Coins or the King of Pentacles. But then the High Priestess reversed. Karen, don't feel guilty for being the king. It's like you recognize that you have power and wisdom, but then you sort of pull it back at the end. What happens if you don't pull it back? What happens if you really sit in your own power? Oh, Christina, please keep us posted on that. Okay, and finally for Kim, who received the Chariot on Monday. And now the 10 of Wands. Like, we're aware it's going to be a long journey. But it's the journey that you have requested, and there's nothing here that says it's not going to be successful. Not easy, but likely successful. There you go. Okay. Okay. Tarot Symbolis de Sanas. I don't speak Spanish. I'm so sorry. Right, I already did Priyanka. Thank you. So we're now on Tarot Symbolos in Chile. So cool that you're there. Here's a card to wrap up your week. Nine of Swords. So this week, there is a lot on your mind, and it may be causing you undue stress, or it may be that, it's really tough right now. The thing is, you cannot stay up in your head. You have to be able to get past thoughts and feelings and up in your head in order to get peace and then figure out actions. Thank you so much for being here. And while we're here, Sonu Singh, sorry. On Fridays, we do a card to wrap up the week. I will do you. I'll do that for you right now with the 5 of Pentacles. Clearly, things are not going the way you want them to, and it's been a tough week. Do what you can to find the opportunities that are there for you. And, okay, let's see. The first, the last. Not sure what your request is here, but I'm happy to give you a card. The Hanged Man. This week, I think you recognized that you have the power you have, and that's what you have. And in that, I think you found a great deal of enlightenment, which will help you put your energy where it needs to go. All right. LP, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Wrapping you up with the Magician reversed. Okay, so Mercury is now officially in retrograde, is it not? And, this is like the official card of Mercury retrograde. So you may have been feeling that energy. That's a possibility. There's also a sense, LP, that communication is not going well, and that you're having a hard time recognizing and remembering your skills and your abilities and your strengths. Let's turn that right side up. Remember who you are and what you bring to the table. Christina, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Your card was the Sun. Thanks for using members only emojis. Can't go wrong with the Sun. We start with the Sun and we end with the 4 of Pentacles. Like, when you can be in that place of happiness and joy that allows you to shine, then you can share that energy with others. You can share that energy with others, and I think that's what you're doing. I think this week you were definitely helpful to those around you. Okay, Lisa McCord, so good to see you. 6 of Cups on Monday. And now the 4 of Cups reversed. I would look at those 2 cards together with something very specific. Is it possible, Lisa, that in your life, in your childhood, you were trained to make the best of a bad situation so very well that you will tolerate things that you should not tolerate. Just wondering. I realize that that did not speak to this week necessarily. I mean, you can let me know if it does. So yeah, you can let me know. Okay, here's just an interesting aside. Oh, Lisa, I do have a high tolerance for BS. Yeah, for whatever reason, your cards this week are telling you to work on that. Okay. So the first, the last. Tell me if Mercury or any other planet can have that much effect on my emotions. Okay, not quite making sense here. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to address that. I thought that was going to be like a really interesting conversation we could have about astrology and how astrology works. And maybe you can do that in another language, but you're not doing it well in English, so we're not doing it. Okay. Okay, Joyous Ocean, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. And thanks for using members only emojis. We really appreciate you. Okay, you were looking for Monday's cards, which means maybe you let me know what they were and maybe you didn't. And I'm not seeing it, so I'm just going to go forward assuming I don't know what they are. Okay, Joyous Ocean, here we go. We're going to do you and Jada. Okay, Joyous Ocean. 9 of Wands reversed. And remember, I call this card the Wounded Warrior, and it's reversed. And I think this is you really focusing on and prioritizing your healing, which is necessary. You know, that's what you're doing. It's appropriate. And for Jada, the Knight of Wands, or in this deck, the Knight of Rods. I feel like this week you actually did a good job pursuing fun, pursuing creativity, pursuing things that matter to you. And that's appropriate. That's good. Okay. Betty Flesher, good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years, and thanks for using members only emojis. Here is a card for you, Betty. The Moon reversed. So I just feel like you have really unlocked some next level psychic, intuitive information, abilities, whatever. Dive into that and recognize that's not a fluke, that's there. And so if it's there, you're going to use it. Okay, Lisa E. Good to see you. Sorry, if I skipped Jenna on Monday, I'm so sorry. We're going to do you and Jenna. And you had mentioned later 8 of Wands, but it was actually 8 of Batons. So at different times in history and different traditions, call the wands different things. Wands and batons, same thing. Also rods, staves, all wands. Yeah. Oh, Betty says yes, yay. Oh, Baby Cakes, YouTube redirected you to me. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, Lisa E., here we go. You started with the 8 of Wands, and now the 7 of Swords reversed. Like, for whatever reason, Lisa, it's so important for you to know that you are acting with integrity. I feel like you've been taught to second guess yourself. And you're learning now that you know what you know. So you're learning to trust yourself, and that's a good thing. For Jenna, Death. I feel like, and don't worry, this is not a scary card, but it does suggest you're going through big changes in your life appropriately. Embrace the changes, even though they're hard, even though they're scary. Embrace the changes. That's the important thing. All right. Candy B, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Okay, I remember this. On Monday, you had Temperance and Marlon had the Hierophant. That's like the most matching cards the two of you have ever gotten. Okay, so here we go. Candy B, starting with Temperance and ending with the Tower. Well, at least we're staying thematic in the major arcana. So this week could have had its ups and downs. And I think you're really thinking about, what are you creating in your life? What is it possible to create in your life? And how do you move forward? And it's not always easy. But, in broad strokes, I think you're doing what you need to do. And for Marlon, he had the Hierophant. And now Strength. Okay, all major arcana all the time this week for both of you. That is powerful. I think the two of you really need to look as a couple and as individuals. What was special about this week? What was spiritual about this week? What was deep and profound about this week? For Marlon, Hierophant to Strength. There is something about, yes, you can know the rules, but the spirit of the rule is more important than the rule itself. Yes, you can know the rules, but the spirit of the rule is more important than the rule itself. Does that make sense? We are getting things done. That makes sense, Candy. Absolutely. All right, DH, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Glad you're here. We have the World. So, DH, I think this week you may have put in closure to some things. You may have handled some things, so now you can move on to other things. And you may have had some revelations that have been helpful to you. So be open to the downloads, be open to closure, and on to new things. No, Peggy Lou, have not gotten to you yet. I'm glad you're here, though. Okay. Divine Timing. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm just going to try to catch up so that I am actually where I'm supposed to be. Okay, now I am. All right, Divine Timing. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. Page of Swords. This week, you did a great job communicating, learning, and being in your integrity and being smart. Well done. You did well. All right. Jackie Masters, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. Thanks for using members-only emojis. 6 of Wands. Jackie, you did a good job this week. This is the card of winning. Whether this is personal or professional, you are winning. And it's important to know that. Lisa Discoli, over on Facebook. Hope you're doing well. Hope the new job is going well. Let me give you a card to wrap up your week. Page of Wands. You are definitely learning. You are definitely growing. And I think you're even making space to have some fun. So it's good. Trey Cameron, so good to see you over on Vertical. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. You started with the Page of Swords, and now you end with the Tower. Now, putting those two cards together, like that, so to me describes, like, I know exactly what's up. I know exactly what I'm doing. Oh, the heck I do not. There can be a lot of back and forth. And we've joked about how it's drunk you versus sober you. And that's funny, but I don't think it's entirely accurate. I think there's your clear voice, and there's all the voices that tell you that your clarity will bring you doom. It might, or it mightn't. But I can tell you that not leaning into your clarity definitely won't serve you. Let me know what you think. TJ and GA, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here. We're going to do a card for you and for your daughter. For TJ, the Nine of Swords, there is definitely something bugging you right now this week. Maybe it's something that happened. Maybe it's something that's just on your mind. This is an opportunity to sort of figure out what is upsetting, and is there a new way to handle it? Is there a new way to deal with it? All right. Oh, Trey, accurate. Lisa, join us tomorrow at 12:30, and this is for everyone, not just Lisa. Tomorrow is Saturday. On Saturday, we do the Saturday Psychic Sampler, where you can ask anything you want. And of course, here on YouTube, if you're a member of this channel, join us this evening when we record the Taroscopes live. Okay, control room. Who am I looking for? Oh, got it. Yes. Okay. Okay, TJ. I just did you. I need to do your daughter. With the Magician. There is so much here about schooling. There is so much here about there is so much here for TJ's daughter about schooling and about being open in your communication, being willing to communicate. There is definitely growth here. There is definitely healing, and there's definitely a sense of needing to lean into your abilities. All right, Light Seeker over on Twitch. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Here is a card to wrap up your week. Light Seeker. The King of Swords reversed. So this could be you, or it could be someone around you. But there is a sense of where is the BS coming from and what? Yes, this is you, Light Seeker. This is you. The question is, where is the BS coming from? Is the call coming from within the house? Or is it coming from outside the house and you're just believing it? What are you believing that is not serving you? That's the question you need to ask yourself this week. And where is it coming from? Is it something you're telling yourself? Is it something someone else is telling you? All right, Peggy Lou Levens. I said you were coming up and you were. Here you are. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. We really appreciate you. Hope you can join us this evening. Members only, broadcast, recording the Taroscopes tonight, 6 p.m. Okay, Peggy Lou. Page of Cups. This week, you did a good job staying in your loving energy even when it wasn't easy. Good job doing that. It's a good thing. Light Seeker, you are very welcome. So it's coming from the outside and you're being introspective to try to get rid of it. Good. That's the right thing. All right, Mix You Ear. So good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Hope you can join us this evening for the recording of the Taroscopes. All right. Make sure we had the 8 of Wands on Monday. And now the 6 of Wands. So I love it because Wands are about vitality and healing and creativity. And it's a wonderful thing. And you really are finding the energy to move yourself forward. It may not be easy. It may not be fun. It may not be everything you want or hope it to be, but you are doing it and you are doing it successfully. And creatively. It's perfect. Karina Morrison, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Hope you can join us this evening for the tarot scopes and bonus readings after. All right. Karina, here we go. 7 of Pentacles reversed. And like, this is really in line with a lot of your readings of late. Like, what's working, what's not working, what's helping you, what's not helping you. And I think you're really trying to figure out. I think you're really trying to figure out how to solve the financial issues, but also how to get things where you want them to be in all aspects of your life. Did you get there this week? No. But are you working on it? Yes. Yes. But make you hear, did you die? No, you did not. You're doing okay. It did not. It did not. That's the thing. It did not. You got through it. All right. Keep trying. It'll get you there. It's all right. Mountain Cavalier over on Instagram. On Friday, we do a card to wrap up the week that was, and I'm happy to do that for you right now. Page of Cups reversed. And this could actually go to your question. There is so much that is inside you that has not been said. Maybe even has not been said to yourself. Like, I feel like there is so much here about needing to work on how to communicate what is in your heart to yourself and to the world. Gen Xers, just walk it off. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thank you for the super sticker. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And it was your 20th super sticker. So really, really appreciate that. Here is a card, Gen Xers. Death reverse. This week you did what you always do. My question to you, is it working or not working? Like, this does not say, and that's great, or, and you shouldn't. So basically what this is saying to me is you're doing this week, you did what you do. It is time to decide, is that serving you, is it not? This is not saying either way. Okay, Joanne Ellis, thanks for being here. Thanks for being present with us here today. Wrapping you up, the star reversed. There are some things here that are not serving you, and some things that are okay. Like, you are healing, but you're not getting everything that you want. Is this a situation where you just need to be okay with that? Or is this a situation where you need to say, no. More is necessary. Yes, thank you, more, please. Either way. Either way. You need to figure out, like, can it get better? And if it can get better, what do you have to do to make it better? Oh, Gen Xers, that is exactly what I needed to hear. So interesting. I was like, well, that's a lame reading, but I mean, we shouldn't judge what comes out of our mouths when we're doing readings, because if that's what you needed, that's what you needed. To me, I was like, is that going to make sense? But it did. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh my gosh. Raquel, thanks for being a member for more than 3 years, and thanks for using members only emojis. We're going to do you, Cassandra, and Gemini Sun, of course. And again, you and Cassie are members. Hope you can join us this evening. I think it's 6 p.m. The link is already up. Members only. We are doing the tarot scopes for August. What is the month that comes next? It's August. Peggy Lou, you have been a member for 50 months, over 4 years. That's amazing. So you know what that means? I need to change your badges. I need to make a 4-year badge. Okay, I'll be doing that quickly. Oh my goodness. That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, Raquel. Raquel, wrapping you up, 6 of Swords reversed. There is something going on this week where you're not feeling like a winner. If someone else is doing that to you, or if someone or something is doing that to you, it's going to be really important for you to remember who you are, and who you are is a winner. For Cassandra, the 10 of Pentacles. This week, I think you did a lot that really leaned toward the happiness of your family and the security of your family. And that's a beautiful thing. Gemini Sun, Death. I'm thinking you're making changes in your life, and you have been making changes in your life recently. And you may continue to make more changes, but change is hard. It will ultimately lead you to where you want to be. That's the bottom line. And that's really what you need. So it's a good thing. Okay. Richie Rich over on Vertical. Good to see you. On Fridays, what we do is a card to wrap up your week, and I'm happy to do that. Richie Rich, you got the star reversed. You're not the first person to get this. Basically, what you're discovering is things are not going exactly the way you want, and you need to figure out where you should or should not put your hope. Base that not on the unhealed parts of yourself, but on the healed parts of yourself. Okay. I did, yeah. All right, Liz Harrison, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. And thanks for using members only emojis. Monday, you had the 7 of Cups and now the Knight of Swords. So you got a lot done this week. I think in all the things you needed to do, you got a lot done. And you're moving forward in a positive way. This feels good. Oh, Gen Xers, here's your feedback. Most of my disposable time this week was spent repeating an old pattern. I've been in the process of dealing with the fallout this morning, and it could cost me for weeks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I guess the cards never lie. Right. All right. Barbie Bird, good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. You had the Queen of Swords on Monday. And now the Lovers. Like, isn't that beautiful, Barbie? What a great story. You are figuring out who you are, and you're standing in your integrity, which will open you up to everything you're looking for in life. How great is that? You got the whole unspoken reading there, right? Right. Like, yes, it's about your love life. I didn't say it, but now I did. Okay. Oh, Gen Xers, that's beautiful. I was not 100% sure I should make the change until this reading. Well, there you go. There you go. Christine Hallowell, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member, and thanks for using members only emojis. Okay. You started with the Page of Swords, and now we've got the Knight of Cups reversed. Christine, this was a week to be in your head, not your heart. And I think you did a good job with that. I think you did a good job focusing on where your focus needed to be. Well done. Michelle's Mystic Corner, good to see you. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. We're going to do you, and we're going to do your granddaughter. Okay, for you, Michelle. Man, the star reversed is stalking us as a village. And for you, I think it's about the healing that is ongoing and continuous. That you are not just healing from tragedy, you are healing from ongoing trauma all the way through. So that's what I get there. Michelle's Mystic Corner. Barbie, I think I skipped you. I saw your name pop up, but I don't think I did you. So hang in. I'm going to do after Michelle's Mystic Corner. I think I accidentally skipped you. Okay. And Michelle's Mystic Corner for your granddaughter. Three of Swords. There is a lot going on that has been really difficult. So when we talk about healing, we recognize that it is generational, and that's what it is. And oh my gosh. Okay, Barbie, hang on. I did do your reading and I remember what it was. Okay, Michelle's Mystic Corner. Your card and Dickie's card are connected, right? It's all about that healing. Barbie, yes, Queen of Swords, and then you got the Lovers. And I made that be about you doing the work that you need to do to create all good things in your life, but it's the Lovers. So yes, I did. Yes, I remember now. Okay. Vaishali, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Here is a card for you. Page of Pentacles reversed. Vaishali, I think this week you're thinking you did not do the work that you needed to do. And what I'm going to say is maybe you did and maybe you didn't, but don't let it get to you. Next week is a new week. Just show up for next week.